Liebelt. How are you doing? It is so good to see you. Come on in. Do not delay. So today is Wednesday. I do know what day I'm on. Today is Wednesday. And if you guys did not know, every day we go live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, unless it's a holiday or I'm on vacation. Well, out of town, it's not always a vacation business. And we talk about insulin resistance. We have been doing this, you guys, for like a year and a half. So like, woohoo! And so many of you have like followed the blueprint of transformation so that you can literally change your own freaking life. This is so exciting. Everybody rising up and being their own advocate. Very, very exciting. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I was raised by an Italian dad, my daddy, and he died at 63 from type 2 diabetes. And my Italian family just had a lot of exuberance for food. I don't know if anybody can relate to that or not, just saying. And we ate because we were happy and celebrating at a wedding. We ate because we were sad, because we were mourning at a funeral. We ate because we were angry, confused, bored, tired. You get the picture. And so that was the culture that I was raised in. And then it was just really indoctrinated into me that type 2 was a genetic disorder and that there was nothing you could do about it. So therefore, que sera, sera. And I mean, honestly, just nothing could be further from the truth. It's a total lie. But we're going to like debunk a few things today because I actually want to hit this specific topic. Is erythritol dangerous? Ooh, I get fired up, and I got fired up this morning. I'll tell you what happened. What the study really said and why sugar is still the bigger threat. It's so dang frustrating. You guys stop watching, for the love of God. Like, stop watching morning news shows. Just please, like, they are just filled with propaganda, period, the end. So I'm on my Facebook feed and there's this suggested for you. And it was posted like 2 days ago. And it was a morning news show. And the title was, I should have looked at it before I got on. Doctor says erythritol, doctor claims, doctor says, and then there's a picture of a doctor talking to a news anchor. Doctor says erythritol causes brain cancer. I mean, thousands upon thousands of comments from diabetics. Oh my gosh, what do I do now? Do I throw it away and just go right back to sugar? There's nothing safe. I'm just going to start eating honey. I'm just blah, 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 fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. And I'm like, oh, you guys are really, this is probably literally funded by the sugar industry. Like, I'm not even joking. So I get so super frustrated by that. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. Anyway, so I wanted to just debunk this for just a little bit here, you guys, because I feel like if you have a confused mind, you will do nothing. And then you will say all day long, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter if I eat this or if I eat that, or if I don't eat this or if I don't eat that. Nothing matters. So I'm just, que sera, sera. I'm just going to live my life. And I am here to tell you, you 100%, in my opinion, can return back to where it came from, your insulin resistance. I'll give you resources. I'll tell you who to go listen to. I am your best friend with a cup of coffee. Mine's water. Grab your cup of coffee. Let's chat. Again, how they will market to you because they don't give a shiz about your health. They do not care. Do you understand? They do not care. You are not a priority. When they tell you that oatmeal is heart healthy, you're not the priority. I'm just being super honest. And I know I'll get a lot of guff for some of the things that I say. I'm okay with that. I'm so done. I'm so done. They've done this now for a minimum of 40 years. And we are fatter than we've ever been, sicker than we've ever been, more medicated than we've ever been. And now it's in our children. I'm done. The study that just came out that said 12 to 17-year-olds, 1 in 3 are pre-diabetic. What are we doing? My microphone is not in the right position. Sorry. But I was probably yelling loud enough that you're fine, Facebook, YouTube. But what are we doing? Why are we still listening to them like they have anything to offer us? Why are we doing this? I do not understand. So anyway, number one tip for today is to turn off the freaking morning shows that are just, it's all propaganda. I've not watched a morning show. I don't even know. Maybe in a decade, maybe longer, probably longer. Like trash, just trash. Anyway, okay, let's just move on because I actually want to give you some information about this. Okay. So they want you to be afraid of your erythritol. It's a sugar alcohol. They want you to be afraid of it, but not afraid of sugar. So we're going to fix that today. So just sit down for a half a minute, grab a cup of coffee, get yourself a tea. Let's go. All right. You've probably seen the headlines that your erythritol is linked to heart attacks, or like this one had said, brain cancer, blah, blah, blah. Should we be worried? All right. Now I'm going to say that immediately when I see that stuff, I don't just discount it. I don't just go, that's a lie. I don't believe that. I don't do that, but I do look to the people who will actually pore over the studies. And for me, the one that pores over the studies the most, just from what I can tell, is Craig and Maria Emmerich, Emmerich. Okay, so on YouTube, this is the first thing, this is probably the main thing that you need to know. I'll just give it to you right away. Excuse me, go to YouTube. Put in your erythritol. It's spelled Erythritol. And then you put in your erythritol, Maria Emmerich. And they have like an 11-minute video. I used to have it on my website and I took it down, but maybe I'll have to put it back up. I was just hoping that it would all just die down and go away, but no, they're going to recycle the fear mongering. So go to them because they've actually poured over the study and they give you scientific conversation. 11 minutes. It's not over your head. Super easy to understand. And if anybody was going to stop recommending something to her audience, it's going to be Maria Emmerich. She's very strict on ingredients. Anyway, so they want you to be afraid of it, but not sugar. And we have to fix that. This is a really big issue. I understand. I did a reel the other day talking about how when they tell you you can do things like have 45 to 50, 60 grams of carbs in a meal, or they tell you it's all about balance, or they tell you, whatever trash information they give you, whatever plate they give you in the hospital when you're a type 2 diabetic, and it's a joke because it's Honey Nut Cheerios and skim milk and orange juice, and like it's the worst of the worst, and you're in the hospital, whatever they do, we have to turn around and do the opposite. Okay. Because we want different results. Their goal is to keep you medicated. Our goal is to reverse it and make it go away and get off of meds. Okay. Just telling you that's our goal. So you've probably seen those headlines, but here's what those headlines do not tell you. Please listen up. Don't scroll yet. Just listen to this one sentence. Okay. This is bad science and it's pushing people back to the very thing that's most harmful, and it is sugar. And the thing is that what they didn't tell you is, hold on, I want to find this because I said I was going to say it to you. The study did not show causation. It showed association, which is a big difference. The people in the study were already very sick and at high risk of heart disease. So what are we doing? Anyway, okay. I'm going to go back. Let me go back. So sugar, why is this such a problem for diabetics? Remember my own story. Good morning, Patty. Good to see you. Jan, you're listening to me as you are coming home from Tennessee. Oh, I bet you had such a good time in Tennessee, Jan. That's wonderful. I'm so glad that you guys got to do that. Hold on. I'm going to plug in my iPad. I just didn't do that. And I just saw low power on my iPad. Uno momento. Por favor. Fix that. I'm so glad you're listening, Jan. And Jack. Good to see you, Jack. Okay. Here we go. So remember, as a child, and I've told the story before, but I'm going to assume that nobody knows who I am and that you've never heard any of my stories before. Being raised by this type 2 dad, all I ever knew were vials of insulin in the refrigerator and hypodermic needles in the Ziploc bag, the gallon-sized Ziploc bag in his dresser drawer that you were told never to touch. And yet, as a child of the 70s, never wearing a seatbelt, driving around in a paneled-sided station wagon, there was never a Dairy Queen we passed up. It was the joke of our family. Like, seriously, it was that was the ha ha ha. We brought it up at his funeral. Ha ha ha. Never passed a Dairy Queen that we didn't stop at so he could get a cone. Okay. And if you ever called him out on it, he would say, oh, my blood sugar's low. I got to have some sugar. This is trash information. Whoever told him that gave him really bad information. And I have no doubt that it came from the medical community, not to go to the Dairy Queen, don't get me wrong, but to do something to like quickly lift up your sugars. We always kept juice in the house just in case. No. This is baloney. You don't ever have to deal with low blood sugar if you never spike it super high so that it crashes really low. Now, being hypoglycemic or something, there are other factors, I get it, but I'm talking about basic conversation, okay? So sugar, it's a metabolic wrecking ball. It spikes insulin, it increases inflammation, and it stores fat. Even a little here and there is like pouring gas on a fire, especially for someone who's already insulin resistant. It is not about willpower, you guys. This is not about willpower. Sugar alters your brain. It lights up dopamine and literally makes you crave more. Okay? Makes you crave more. Symptoms that come from even minor sugar exposure, like for instance, let's say you have, okay, I'm going to give you a really good example, but it's so interesting because it didn't, I wish that I had a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor. I know I talk about this and then I think about it and then I don't pull the trigger on it yet, because it would have told me something. So understand, number one, I was never type 2 diabetic. My insulin resistance started in my 20s. I was gestational diabetic. I was hypoglycemic with another baby. When I was 50 and I had shoulder surgery, my shoulder froze. And so what that meant was that was another red flag for insulin resistance. I had no idea. I'm a 2X in size going into my 50s. I spent the last 20 to 30 years like napping every day, exhausted. By the time I actually decide to deal with my insulin resistance, which that terminology didn't exist, my brain fog was freaking off the charts, just so foggy in my brain. I function about 1 million times better today at 60 than I did at 50. And it might be about 100 million times better. Like you just have no idea. I was losing my ability to multitask because my brain fog was so off the charts. And my mother comes in and she's like, Kirsten, like, excuse me, do you ever go to the doctor? Do you get your sugars checked? You know, your dad died of type 2 diabetes. What's wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, la, 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 you know, okay, mom, okay, you know, you're super annoying. And I didn't do anything about it. And then finally, I did start to target my supplementation. I was not a supplementer, but I decided that I'm finally going to do something. And I'm not going to change out my foods because, like, don't be ridiculous, people. I'm Italian. What do you mean? I'm going to change out my foods. So instead, I start with supplementation. This is why I am so passionate about getting to you as many testimonies as I can get to you, because you guys have way better testimonies than even my own. Now I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonies from you telling me that what I started with and now you start with has changed your life. Your A1C, your chart at your doctor's office, your belly fat, your meds decreasing, all of these things. So I'm going through this whole world and I finally decide to do something about my sugars. And I realize that even just a little bit of rewarding myself would make this huge difference. It totally would stop my fat burning. It would totally like throw me for a loop. And over the course of the years of study now, I understand that yes, this is the sentence you want to hear. Yes, you can become more metabolically flexible. The part that's hard for people is that they want it overnight because we're a microwave society. But it takes time. We talked about this yesterday. I won't tell the story again, but we talked about the ship turning around in Glacier Bay, the cruise ship, okay? So is it going to happen fast? Probably not. So the time's going to pass anyway between now and July of 2026. Let's just do the thing and stay on track and like figure this out, right? Because this is what then happened to me. So I'm at a business conference. Jan will know this. She was with me at lunch, and this was last weekend in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm from Minnesota, by the way. And I order wings at this restaurant, and I asked them to put the sauce on the side because I'm like, oh, I have a feeling that sriracha sauce is going to have sugar in it, and of course whatever, the waiter would not have known squat about the ingredients of the food. He's like, well, should I just put it on the side? I'm like, yeah, let's do that. It comes totally not on the side. Totally not on the side. We are a group of like 10 people. I'm definitely not going to make them bring the food back. I'm definitely not going to mess up anybody else's schedule. I am definitely not going to make how I eat an issue for anybody else. It's nobody else's concern. Like, this is my life. Like, I'm dealing with my own life. I eat like a type 2 diabetic. I'm not one, but I eat like one. Now, back in the day when I would eat off plan, so to speak, like if I would eat something sugary, I block fat burning, exhausted, tired, like, woo, that hit me because it spiked and it crashed. Well, this is how I know that my metabolic flexibility has really, really made strides. I went ahead and I had all the wings. I ate all of them. I was hungry. It was my only meal that day because we were running around. So hungry. I ate all of them. And I thought, okay, I'm going to assess my body because this is how I've spent my life now in my 50s. It's how I lost 3 sizes. I'm going to assess my body. Do you know that I never, ever had a crash? And that was absolutely sticky sugar that I ended up having to just wash off in the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is. And I just moved on with my day. But I will tell you, you have to have hope. You have to have understanding. Now, again, please know, I was not type 2 diabetic. And so I don't have the dangers of having to modify my medication in the moment, or the dangers of having just major fallout. Listen, my dad did it all. He was really close to losing toes by the time he was dead at 63. Like, I understand the negative benefits, so I don't take it lightly. I don't share that. So then you think that, oh, well, then I can go do the same thing. Probably not. I'm just telling you, because I never thought that I was going to talk to you who are type 2, you who is type 2. I thought I was going to talk to everybody who was pre-type 2 like I was. Okay. So I'm just telling you, there are differences. Everybody's ship is going to look a little different. You have to understand that and you have to embrace that. But anyway, Meg, good to see you. But I wanted to bring that up because you actually can change the way that your body is responding to sugar and starches, et cetera, down the road. But we got to get it there, right? So it's not about willpower. It really is about you spiking and crashing, and it changes the way that your body is responding. And then you get in a cycle and you can't get off, and you're like a hamster on a hamster wheel. Okay. So when you eat sugar, it spikes your blood sugar and insulin rushes in. If you are already insulin resistant, your cells resist it. Remember, insulin resistance. Your cell is resisting the insulin, trying to get the sugar into your cell for energy. Resistant. Okay. The door is closed. It's like a storage locker. There's a lock on the door, and insulin is a key, and it was supposed to be able to open up that lock, and it can't. It's like jiggling. It can't open the lock because the lock got changed. Okay. So that's what's happening. So then your body produces more insulin because it feels like it didn't do enough. And now everything gets stored as fat. Mostly the bad fat, the visceral fat around your organs and in your liver. Thus, the belly grows. And we are frustrated because our clothes don't fit and we can't zip up our jeans, and we don't know how to fix that. Okay. So constant insulin equals fat storage, and that fat mode stays on. That fat storage mode stays on. It's like a switch. High insulin, switch on. No fat burning for you. Does anybody remember that Seinfeld episode? No soup for you. No fat burning for you because your insulin is high. Capiche? Is everybody tracking? Let me know if you are tracking in the comments. Say yes. So sugar lingers and it gets stored as fat. constant insulin, fat storage on, inflammation rises. I just left a message for somebody this morning, a voice text. Because you have high, she said, I have high inflammation and belly fat. And I said, well, when you are insulin resistant, you automatically have high inflammation because high insulin is creating high inflammation. And the belly fat, this is all connected. There is no disconnect in anything that I talk about. There is no disconnect. It's all connected. So whether I'm talking to you about your liver, your gut, your visceral fat, your insulin, your brain fog, your leaky gut, your PCOS, your gout, your type 2 diabetes, your high blood pressure, it's all connected. Hormones, it's all one conversation, okay? So inflammation rises, your gut lining weakens. Your gut lining weakens. You feel worse and you gain more weight. When this is chronic, hello, type 2 diabetes, neuropathy, scripts with your name on them, okay? Fatty liver, anyone? Bueller. So the erythritol study, let's talk about the facts. The study didn't show causation. It showed association. Big difference. The people in the study were already very sick with a high risk of heart disease. They never, ever proved erythritol caused anything. The body makes erythritol naturally. It's a byproduct of glucose metabolism. Maria Emmerich, who I consider very credible in the low carb keto space, she's an expert. She's been doing it for over 30 years. She did a great job of breaking this down, and you can find that video on YouTube, her and Craig. Just type in erythritol Maria Emmerich, Emmerich, okay? And then you'll get deeper science that way. The media has twisted this for clicks and fear. Morning talk shows ran with it, but no one stopped to ask, what's the alternative? Go back to sugar? Nay, nay, I say, nay, nay. Don't do that. Oh, I just wish that I could get across, and I know that it's just one person at a time that I can connect with. But back in the days when Ansel Keys, who was the scientist who determined that that fat was the cause of heart disease, which was a total lie. Animal fat is not the cause of heart disease. Sugar is. And so they took fat out of all of our food, which left it with lackluster flavor, put sugar in instead. And the sugar industry paid to hide the evidence of sugar causing everything that we're now living. 40 years later, you are living it. I am living it. And we're not questioning. They paid. So who paid for this erythritol study? I mean, do you think maybe it was the sugar industry? No, I don't know that to be true. I don't. But golly, if they did it once, they'll do it again, because they're going to bury information or they're going to create information. So it really confuses the already overwhelmed diabetic person. I mean, the comments that were on this particular post, and it was a morning show, and it was just a headline of, doctor says erythritol causes brain cancer, and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of comments. That's it. I can't eat anything, so who cares? Why bother? Guess I'm going back to sugar. I'm just going to go back eating honey again. You guys, they just don't even care. They just don't even care how much they confuse you. So it makes you question the real solutions that do work. And I'm going to give them to you so you walk away with very valuable help, like replacing sugar with low glycemic options. It sends you right back into the arms of cravings, inflammation, and disease. This is what happens then when you go back to sugar. So you have to look for natural sweeteners. So let's just even pretend that you're still going to I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm not going to eat erythritol ever again. Okay, fine. Fine. Then don't. It's okay. And I know that probably your monk fruit is connected. It's mixed with erythritol. It's cut with erythritol. Fine. Throw it away. It's okay. The money will come back to you. It's okay. But I have other options for you that are just as good, if not better. So let's get into those. Let's do that. So back when I was changing out my food ingredients, I was like, give me a date. My husband's grandmother made the best date pinwheel cookies ever on the face of the planet. So a lot of us think we'll go to natural sugars. We'll go to agave. No, don't do that. We'll eat dates. Please don't do that. Okay. But here are some other plant-based options that you can look at. Read the ingredients. Make sure that something is not just marked keto. Okay. Do that. Stick to your healing plan. Okay. No grains, no sugar, no legumes. This is by far the fastest way to begin to stop the deluge in your body of disease. No grains, no sugar, no legumes. Stop listening to 30-year-olds telling you how to eat. Stop listening to somebody who is not insulin resistant telling you that it's all about balance, and stop paying attention to all of the freaking ads for the programs of counting points, etc. Stop it. They're marketing to you. I just want you to understand where this is coming from. They know the exact color to put in front of your eyes. They know the exact verbiage to use. They know the exact before and after picture. They know all of it to get you to pay attention. Do you understand? Okay. You are a target. Just telling you. Okay. So read the ingredients, stick to your healing plan. No grains, no sugars, no legumes. Understand that sugar is the poison, not the clean alternative meant to help you get off of it. Okay. So I always talk, when we talk in our group, the group is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And every month we do a 5-day challenge. You can get in there and you can actually watch the replay. It'll ask you to get in who sent you, what's your email, and what are you trying to accomplish in the next 90 days. Okay, just to let you know, answer the questions in order to get in. But once you do, up at the top, the featured section, you can watch the replays for the July challenge that we did. And then we'll do another one in August. I go through ingredient trade-outs for a reason. And one of the things that I do teach you is how to switch out sugar. So there is monk fruit, and you can get straight monk fruit. I don't know if you've ever tried it or not. There's stevia, and make sure that, you're looking for a good one that's not, because everybody's going to ruin the concept of anything. So you just have to know not all of them are created equal. Look for, one that's not mixed with bad ingredients, whatever. But then there's also allulose, ALLULOSE. Okay, allulose. This is one that I really want people to pay attention to. Now, this is the downside is that it's only 70% sweet as sugar. The upside is that studies are actually showing it as a plant-based sweetener to bring down sugars. This is actually very, very fascinating. So I highly recommend that you use that. Now, when I buy allulose, sometimes I'll buy it in a blend. Sometimes I'll buy it straight, either way. But you use it for the egg white protein bread. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say the egg white protein bread? That is where you're using egg white protein powder, egg whites, cream of tartar, whatever. I make it all the time. The allulose is what makes it brown. So anytime you hear me talk about allulose, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. And like I said, you can go to Walmart and you can get like Splenda even has a blend, like go figure. Who knew that Splenda was going to put out a good product? But they have a blend. It's called the Baker's Blend, and it has stevia, erythritol, and allulose. Crazy that they've come out with a good blend like that. And that allulose, you could use that in the egg white bread. Okay. Those are really good options. So even if you don't want to do anything with your erythritol, at least at the very base of your understanding, understand what they're trying to do to you, not for you. And I really do hope that at least one of you stops watching morning news. They're just trash. It's like the tabloids of the morning. Okay. Patty asked a question. When you did the wings, would you consider taking an extra glucose tablet to keep the sugar down? Yeah, Patty, for sure. But I'm telling you what, if you're in the swings, don't do it. I literally in 10 years have 8 years. In 8 years, I've actually never just done that. I'm very metabolically flexible. So I'm just telling you. But yes, Patty, you could take 2 glucose health and do that. And I do have a friend who did that. And oh, by the way, I was going to start with this. You guys, I only have 5 left of the glucose health on my shelves. I only have 5 left. It's out of stock until August 4th. So if you are looking to bring down your sugars and your insulin, will you DM me? You guys, this is, in my opinion, It is like the best product on the market, and it's only $26. That is freaking crazy. But it's giving your body raw materials that it needs. I've had so many testimonies from, you guys hear me talk about the trio, the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. That's these 3 right here. This is how I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. And it was changing out my foods and taking this. And this is the one you take 3 times a day. This is the glucose product that's out of stock. And it's such a good product. And so it brings down your insulin and your sugars. Why do you care? Because insulin is the hormone that needs to come down. Sugars is what's already in your blood. Okay, so I'm just telling you. So 3 times a day, she's asking, could you take an extra one of these at that time? The answer is yes. Now, it doesn't say that on the bottle. So this is just Kirsten talking to you like a friend, okay? But I do have a friend that was taking 2 of these every time she ate because she was on a Mediterranean diet. And Mediterranean diet is not really amazing for insulin resistance because it's grain. There's a lot of grain in there. So she was offsetting with this, and she's got her own reasons, and that's all perfect. But she was doing that twice a day. And then this one, 3 times a day, twice at a meal, because she was offsetting her grains. This one is twice a day. This one is twice a day. And the reason why there's synergy in all of this is because you're dealing with your insulin, your sugars, your liver, and your metabolism all in one fell swoop. That's the trio. That's pillar number 1 that I talk about. Okay. And then Patty says, yeah, or would that even make a difference? Yes, Patty, it would make a difference. And especially if you have a CGM test, and then tell me what you find out. It does get exhausting, Kathy says, trying to make a decision about what to do and being constantly bombarded with supposed new information. You have to just stay the course. You're going to have to be, and this is a success principle in any area of life, okay? So let me give you the success principle. You have to have one voice in your world, okay? Now, whatever that means for you is important, okay? You have to have one stream, one thought process. This goes for marriage, this goes for business, this goes for your health, this goes for everything. We have to stop being consumers of all information and expecting our brains to dissect it all. Like we don't have to do that. That's why I say it over and over and over and over again. I view everything through one lens. So this is your cutting out noise. Insulin resistance, the way that you supplement and the way that you eat food. And this is how you get the amazing results. I am telling you, golly, it feels good to going back, like returning back to your more youthful body that has energy. Going back to being able to multitask and to be able to actually like have clear decision-making skills when you're at the grocery store or you're making a list or you're looking at recipes. It feels so good to be more normal again. I just wanted to be normal. And by losing 3 sizes, I put myself on a path to being normal again. And that felt good to me. Now that might not resonate with you, and that's okay. This was me, okay? I have my own set of factors from my own family and my own mother than you do, okay? So you just have to know that. You got to know what yours are. And for me, it was changing my size because of messages that I had received as a child. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that because we're not going to go into a therapy session today. We can do a therapy session another time. The pillar, so this is pillar number 1. Pillar number 2, you guys, and this is all on my website. You can look up kirstenliebelt.com and it looks like this. Okay, there's free stuff on here. And then pillar number 1 is exactly what I just talked to you about. Pillar number 2 is right here. And then pillar number 3, and then all 3 pillars together. I even have a few videos on there so that if you're somebody who you want to sit down and listen to a 2 or 5 minute video so that you can gain better understanding, I want you to do that. Okay. And I'm going to get all of my, I'm going to put up a bunch of, the testimonies today for you. They were in one area and I moved it. Don't mind me. talking out loud. Then the pillar number 2 is for your gut. You have to get your gut up and running, you guys. You have to. You don't have a choice because the high inflammation has weakened the lining of your gut. And so healing and sealing your gut is like, it really is move 101. Like you have to be able to get your impacted waste to move. You have to get your toxins to move out. You have to get your gut able to help you absorb nutrients, because guess what? When I'm filling in nutrients, it's because you have nutrient deficiencies because of what's been going on in your body with the metabolic dysfunction. So we have to do both and, right? Like heal it and seal it while we're adding back in what it needed so desperately to function again. It's like reattaching your wires in the electrical system of your car. Let's reattach your wires, okay? And we're going to do that with your gut. I do a little tiny bit of water in a cup every morning, and I do 1 scoop. Tastes like tea, doesn't excite me. I down it like a wellness shot, and I will never ever travel with this without this again. I just won't. This is like priority on my ordering list for sure. And probiotics. I'm sorry, but kimchi isn't enough and yogurt isn't enough. And it's not enough. We have literally killed off species in the North American diet. We have about half of what we had in 1960s. It's just what we've done. Okay. So again, we don't have to like argue about the reality. We just have to fix it. And so 5 live strains are in this little packet that I put on my tongue every morning. Okay. Just telling you. That's pillar number 2. And pillar number 3 is for the visceral fat. And insulin resistance creates the visceral fat. Why? Let's go back to the conversation. When you have high insulin, trying to take care of all the sugar that you're giving it, and that sugar could be created from actual sugar, like we were talking about at the beginning, or it could be just because you spiked your sugars because you ate sweet potatoes, grain, any of those. They're spiking your sugars. Your insulin is going to be released to take care of it and put it into your cell. But when your cell is resistant, door closed, lock changed, and insulin can't get the glucose into there, everything's going to be stored as fat. It's a fat storing hormone, but it is storing it as, say it with me, visceral fat. Most of it, not all, most of it is visceral fat. That is the fat that is around your organs. It's like wrapping around your organs. It's inside of your liver. Okay. And it's dangerous. It emits inflammation. It emits hormones. It's messing you up, and it's keeping you in this cycle of not feeling good, having belly fat that is in your way when you're trying to buy a pair of jeans. And it's all right in here. And you're like, where did this belly come from? That's what's going on. Okay. So let's target the visceral fat. So this is literally created for a sports nutrition line, and it changes your BMI. And I have you sending me scans of your visceral fat going down from taking it. And this is where you lose the inches. Okay. Because it's from the inside out. It's literally like shrinking fat cells from the inside out. And all of a sudden you measure and you're more narrow under your bust, your waist, and your hips over about 90 days. Do 90 days straight. 1 orange pixie on your tongue, 90 days straight every day. Doesn't matter what time of day. Okay. You can do it. If you're a workout person, take it before you work out, but you don't have to. And then take 30 days off because it's a thermogenic and you don't want your body to get used to it. Okay. And then do another round, but measure, 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 measure. Get that little piece of paper out, measure, so that you know where you're losing those inches, because your body composition begins to change. And then don't let that change frustrate you, because it does change then the kind of clothes that you wear, because they fit differently. So don't let that bother you though. So those are the 3 pillars, and anybody at any point can jump into one of my messages, Messenger, Instagram, TikTok. You can text me. My information is everywhere. Unstuck. If you want to get unstuck, that is a great way to start moving forward. I have a free protein blueprint so that you can walk out the food piece. I have a Facebook group called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And I'm just telling you, like, if you've been wondering like, how do I finally move forward? And it resonates with you to change your lens so that you look at things through insulin resistance, there's an actual path for you. There's an actual blueprint for you. And it's a blueprint of transformation. It's available to you. And sometimes people just don't even know that changing that concept of not spiking sugars and insulin can have such a dramatic positive effect on your body and on how many meds you're taking and on how many pounds you're carrying and how much belly fat you have and how you just feel in your mind, in your brain, in your energy. And actually, the one thing we didn't talk about is your sleep, because insulin will wake you up at 4 a.m. It'll just knock on your door at 4 a.m. and keep you awake. And now you're in this cycle of pure exhaustion, but we can change that. And so anybody that's looking at any of this, right, just remember I have 5 of the glucose health left on my shelves, only 5. So I do like Venmo and then I ship it to people. We've had outages before of stock. It's a very popular product. You guys have to just know I got your back. When it comes back in again on August 4th, I will order more and like reestablish my inventory so that I've always got a way to get that to you, because it's such a phenomenal helper in this whole picture of what we're talking about. I hope that makes sense to you. But every day we're here at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to talk about insulin resistance. And I hope that you do not give up on just good science and not trash propaganda science when it comes to things like your erythritol. The second, if Maria Emmerich comes out and she says, we have seen now 3 studies that actually prove them right, I'll tell you immediately. I do not have an agenda. I just don't want you to fall prey to their marketing to you, because what's happening then is all of a sudden you're like, oh, self-sabotage, here we go. I'm just going to eat sugar then. I can't figure any of this out. It's too confusing. Give me a donut. I mean, we all do this, right? Like, we're just on the edge of self-sabotage and they just go, they push you right over. And it's so frustrating that this is what they do. And so I don't know who paid for that study, but it's bogus until I hear otherwise, because you can just look it up on YouTube yourself. Erythritol, Maria Emmerich, Emmerich, and get some really good science. Okay. They have stuff that's with people that were very, very sick and already were close to heart disease. So I call BS on their little study. So, all right. So I'll see you tomorrow at 11. Can't wait to see you again. If you need anything, let me know. I know that I'm behind on my DMs. I know I am. So I'm going to get off and sit down and talk to you right now. So thank you for your patience. I appreciate you. All right. And have the best day ever on the face of the planet. See you later.